Hey guys, it's me. So today I actually just doodled someone completely random and I really liked it. So I decided that I want to make this into an OC. I'm not sure who I'm gonna make it into, but if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to have a new OC. Yeah. But more about the drawing. I think this drawing was done in Ibis paint. I think you can already tell by the time lapse. And I think I used was it the coursed pencil? Or is it the charcoal? It's one of them. And as for the coloring and rendering, I used the pen fade. So, yeah. I didn't change any settings, by the way. So, for my coloring process, I color a lot like Ren. Like, I imagine, like, my drawings as a paper doll. Like, the layer the layer underneath is the skin layer, because hair sits on skin. Your eye socket is technically within skin, but that's not important. And also your clothing sits on your skin. So I color the skin first, then the eyes and the hair, and then the clothing and whatever is on top. Now you may see that later you will see that I color the hand that is on her chest later, like the last part I color, because I color whatever is on top last, so that to save myself some trouble and don't give myself as much pain as I needed. So yeah. As for the background, I did a very simple background with just like the night sky on a balcony. I imagine her to be a really sets out to do the things she says she will do and will not stop until she completes it, like that kind of stuff. Like, at first I wanted her to be swearing at something, but then it just turned into whatever it turned into. As for the background, I decided to draw some clouds because I did not know what to put in the background. And I thought a moon would be pretty, and I chose a really pretty color for the moon. And then a balcony because she needs to be standing on something. I did not feel like drawing trees, you know? And then back to the character. I am now prepping for rendering. I didn't exactly know what I wanted, so I just played around with a few stuff. I decided that I didn't want to give her face. I know I wanted to make her face brighter, but I didn't want it to be like a spotlight thing. I feel like that's way too obvious. So I decided to make the lower part of her body slightly also lighter. Not as light as the face though. The face was lightest, then the second was the bottom part. Anyway, I'm at the rendering stage. This is how you can tell rendering takes me the most amount of time. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm rendering the eyes right now. I fuss about details. I fuss about details all the time. I'm not a perfectionist, or at least I hope I'm not. But I fuss about details way too much, and thus my renderings usually will take me the longest, and is also the most painful one. But surprisingly, I actually do enjoy rendering. Like, just seeing the piece coming together and get it out of that ugly stage really makes me happy. And I know I shouldn't probably point out flaws in my drawings, but this is really... I don't even remember what I am talking about. My eyebrow just cut me off. Anyway, I think I was talking about whatever bothers me, and the thing that's bothering the most, is the chest area. I don't like how I drew it. I feel like I elongated it, which I don't like it, but I hope it's not that noticeable. I hope I rendered the face pretty enough that people notice that. Also, the highlights. The thing I struggle about here the most is the highlights, because boy oh boy is the highlights hard to draw. Highlights are the hardest things to draw for whatever reason. They should be simple, but I don't know why. No matter how I draw them, they just look off to me. I can't get them 100% right. And I feel like shading hair is actually really fun and it's really easy. You just need to shade whatever isn't being hit by the light, which is very easy for me to like imagine in my head, so it's really easy. And it just makes the hair come together, which makes me feel really proud. And then the highlights makes me want to cry because I don't know how to draw them. I feel like everyone draw highlights a little bit differently, but they all look really amazing. I wish mine can too. What am I rendering? Oh yeah, I'm rendering the hair. When it comes to rendering, hair rendering is usually what takes me the longest because I fuss about details, and there's so much detail that I can fuss about when it comes to hair. That's why sometimes I wish that I didn't fuss about details, but if I don't, it just keeps bothering me neither way. And I wish I could just stop myself. That's one of the most painful parts, you know? Anyways, I decided to change the hair a little bit. Don't know if you can tell, but I did change it, actually. So what I changed about the hair is like, I made the lighting makes a little bit more sense. I will change tiny details when it comes to coloring. Not that big of a detail. Not that big of a change, not detail, to like the piece in general. But yeah. And when it comes to rendering, I usually just clean up the colors, darken the lines, and also clean up the lines and change whatever is bothering me, which is the chest, but I did not want to change that because it just feels like a hassle, and I feel like no one's gonna notice anyway. So I decided. Oh god, I can't talk. So I decided to just leave it there. I feel like I'm gonna do horrible on my GPT. Anyway, I have added like those flyaways that I really love to add. I like to add them for like more completed illustrations. I don't really add them right off the bat, which if some of my pieces don't reach the rendering stage, then they probably aren't going to see any flyaways. And believe it or not, this is one of the few pieces that I've done with the background. I don't like doing backgrounds. It's one of the worst things. Actually, that was a lie. One of the worst things to draw are feet. I hate drawing feet, like with toes. So, and animals. I hate drawing animals. Animals are so hard to draw. Animals, including Pokemon. I don't even know Pokemon is like animals or not. I don't even know what they are. Anyways, I think I'm about to finish my hair rendering, which I'm so glad for. Oh, and by the way, do you know how long this took me? You can pause to take a guess. This took me 17 hours. Bruh. How do you even, like, draw for 17 hours? Like, I did this across 2 days, I think. But I refuse to believe that this took me 17 hours. It took me, like, 8 hours at most, I'm willing to believe. I don't draw for 17 hours. If I actually did draw for 17 hours, I would have abandoned this piece a long time ago. And honestly, I think how Ibis Paint counts how long you've been drawing through time-lapse is that it also counts my awkward pauses. Rather, I'm looking for a reference, or I'm just zoning out, or I'm listening to music and don't want to draw, or I just don't know what to draw. So, I don't think I draw for 17 hours, but that's what Ibis Paint says, so I'll just go with that. So, oh god, I'm running out of things to say. Oops. If you wonder what that is, I'm flipping my canvas. It went by really fast, I know. But I was flipping my canvas. And boy oh boy, do I hate that. I hate flipping my canvas. And I usually don't do it. I, for whatever reason, flip my canvas at like the rendering stage where I can only change things by liquify, and I hate using the liquify tool at that stage because liquify makes your lines really like they make it looks really blended, like you blended out the lines become blurry, and I just don't like that. I prefer to do that in the sketching phase, where if I use the Logify tool, it won't really change much, because I'm going to cover it up with my rendering. Wait, I'm getting covering up with my rendering, then why do I spend so much time sketching? Okay, I'm mentally questioning my sanity. Okay, so, and what am I doing again? I'm doing again. Oh, I'm rendering the clothing. The clothing, I would say is a lot of fun to render, under the condition that I'm not watching Trump. I was listening to, like, I think about, like, I think I was watching a video about Trump's anti-weaponing fund thing. I think it was so ridiculous. It definitely made my mood a little bit bad. It doesn't really concern me, though, since I don't live in America. That made my mood went a little bit sour because of that. But, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!